men vi skal gøre det hvis
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But fuck, it's nice that you wanted to do this. Honestly, it's so good.
Of course. I was just a bit worried if I fit into the format of what you're doing on your side, but then after we had a small conversation that, you know, as long as it's real and the story is my story, then it fits into the program.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's nice, and there is no there is no right person to do it, you know. It's just people that want to talk about real shit and just get real, and it's not like Yannick. He was really nervous about it when I did the interview with him because he's like, I feel almost like imposter syndrome and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but also for me personally, also it would be more scary to do, you know, an interview than just doing you know, a setup like this.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, thanks a lot. Can you turn off the music too? Yo, don't shush me.
No, shush myself.
That's amazing service. Thank you, sir.
Product
Just let's flip this around. We don't want to give them any exposure. But yeah, nice. So you moved to Copenhagen how long ago?
This summer, so I moved in. I guess it was in the start of June.
Oh, same as me. Exactly the same.
Yeah. I think so. Then first I moved in at a friend's. He has an apartment in Nyboder.
Yeah.
Because he's in. Actually, I don't know. You know, he's sailing with the military. It's called Sørværnet.
Okay.
I don't know the English word, but yeah. Then they get some, you know, they get to live there because of their work. So I had to sleep on his couch for like 3 or 4 months, but thankfully he was out sailing a lot, so basically it was my apartment for those months.
And then you took it?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and then you just took the bed.
Yeah, of course. Just felt free.
Yeah, tell the ladies when they come back. My place.
So you live in Osterbo now, yeah?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So I started there, and then during my time there, of course, I looked after the more sustainable options. And then I had actually in the spring, I went to my cousin's. She held a party, and then at the party, her uncle, he has a lot of apartments over here. So I was just talking to him that I wanted to move. And yeah, then he set me up with the guy I'm living with now, Paul Erik.
Legend.
Yeah, he sounds like a legend, by the way.
To be fair, he is.
It's like a nice bit of wisdom every time you go home, huh?
Yeah, you know, and at the moment he's every time we have a conversation, it most of the times just get into that he wants me to go to the opera and attend galleries and ballets and all that kind of stuff.
But that's right up your alley. You love that stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Mate, there's a few older people that come in here, and that's exactly what they're like. That's exactly what it is. First they want a conversation, and it goes to opera, cultural events, art galleries, and stuff that we don't really do actually. A little bit. I love it as well, and when I travel, always try and do it.
I mean, to be fair, at first I thought it was like, just try to be interested in what he was talking about, but nice. I didn't know that.
Still alive.
But to be honest, at the moment I feel like I have to go do it sometime.
Yeah.
Just to, you know.
Mate, and do you know what?
Because he's so passionate about it.
Exactly. He will really be grateful for it, and you will love it.
Yeah, of course.
And you might not enjoy the event, but you'll know that you've given something to him.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like you said, he's like what, 75? So,
yeah, something like that.
So that'll be cheap. Discount.
Yeah, it's discount. But like it's like, and if you're 75 and he doesn't have a partner, I mean, you probably bring him a lot of actually happiness just to have life in it. No, okay. Like
I see what you're saying.
But like to have him in and out of the house. You know? Like, I mean, I'm sure it goes a long way for him. But I mean, not like that though. You're paying rent.
Was he paying? But that's cute. 75, he's got someone in, because it's obviously a big thing to have a bit of company as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
But I think I'm quite sure that he has been doing it for a long time. He's just been in, I think for the last 30 years almost. Just have different students living.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Could be a little concerning, but that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, but isn't that interesting that we think that's
that's
always
a straight
it's just straight thought, isn't it? And it's so
just our minds is just
I mean, there's so much brainwashing.
It's like even like when I talk to a baby or something, I think, is this alright? Or a little kid, and like being over friendly, you're like, am I overstepping the mark here? Like, how do people think?
I was sitting at the park. I don't know, it was a little bit ago, I was drinking a coffee and there was like these little kids wearing their cute little Danish like onesie outfits, and I was just sitting there drinking my coffee laughing, and then I was just like looking at these kids having a good time, and these parents were looking at me like, who the fuck is this freak? But I'm like, it's just cute, like it's just like I wasn't staring at them the whole time, but I would look up and just laugh.
Sometimes or what?
Sometimes I would look and see what's going on, but I was looking at my phone, but I was just like, people would assume that I'm a creep, but in reality I just thought it was like hilarious.
A beautiful thing,
yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just kids having fun.
It's life.
That childhood, like,
I also had this experience the other day. Basically, I walked out of Rema-Tusen around the corner from me, and a guy was walking over with his young daughter, but it was nothing to do with that. He was whistling super loud, but super lovely, like really, really lovely. And these little... My initial thought was, shut up. It's annoying. What are you doing? This is a calm city. Then straight away I'm thinking, I'm aware of my thoughts, and I'm thinking, why am I thinking this? It actually sounds amazing, and he's been creative. All of these things that like we're really quick to judge people who are a little bit different or who make noises and I feel like it's the same as if you're in the park looking at kids.
No, I didn't go to the park to look at the kids. I went to the park and the kids were there. I was drinking my coffee and there were some funny moments.
But there's a norm. There's a norm in it, yeah.
But I think though, like, before we continue kind of progressing through the podcast, it'd be nice to for people to know who you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like, starting off with Mass, who you are, and then Colin after, because of course people don't know you as well.
Yeah.
So Mass, I don't know if you want to you can tell us, or you can look at the camera, but basically, who are you? Where are you from? And of course, you were a professional football player. So maybe talk a little bit just about your career, and then where you are now.
Yeah, if we start, then my name is Mads. I was born in Sønderborg, where I grew up and just had a lovely time in a small city called Dybel, just a bit outside, just living in amazing surroundings, really safe place to grow up. And then of course through my childhood, football was a major thing. It's almost I think until I was 16 or 17, it was everything. So that meant that at the age of 14, I moved away from home to go to Haderslev, where I met you at the Collegium in Sønderjyske. Yeah, and then I just started going to the 9th grade there, and just basically had most of my youth. Just starting in high school and all those things. Really amazing time. And then just, I don't know what more to say. It's we all had this dream of becoming pros, and we're just working hard for that every day, and of course also just having a great time with your friends, because I feel like the environment at the academy was truly amazing. It's like living with all your best friends surrounded, and everything was so easy. Just compared to now, I think you didn't really have a care in the world. It was just
I mean, it's a different type of care, but you literally leave the field and there's food waiting for you.
Yeah.
You have breakfast, lunch is the only thing we take care of. You get classes in the day, and then play Fortnite with the boys at night, or play Call of Duty, whatever, or just play cards, or it was. Yeah,
you could just basically just go and knock on somebody's door, and then there was someone that you could be with, and all that. Yeah. That's really amazing, and I feel like nowadays when I look back, I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, understand.
Were amazing, just laying out on the hallway, just
just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling and everything. That was that was really nice.
Yeah.
But then after I think I lived there for 5 years almost, and then I signed my first contract with Sønderjyske, and then afterwards I moved together with a teammate, Yannick, down in the city. And then just lived there for a while while we were playing.
Yeah.
And then I think after in those periods I had a lot of injuries with my groin, and it was like at some point you felt like you reached your dream, but at the same point you didn't feel like you could fulfill it because of you were unable to play.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a struggle because you just start blaming yourself. What am I doing wrong? Am I sleeping wrong? Am I eating wrong? Am I doing the exercises wrong? You just start doubting everything.
It's just crazy though, because like when we were playing, I mean, I was motivated, but then there was you, where after training you would be in the gym when no one's in the gym. You would be eating you were so fit, you were eating good food, like you were just so focused, like you were the most dedicated player. I remember like getting in arguments on the field because you felt like we're yelling at each other because you hold, even in training, me up to the highest standard. Wow. And it was just like, it was so impressive. So then hearing you say that you were doubting your ability to take care of yourself as an athlete when you were doing everything right.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of the worst thing for me, because at some point I felt like, what more can I do? Yeah. But then still, there's just the ongoing thought that I might be doing something wrong, otherwise this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Is there any processes in place from the football club itself to deal with mental health or anything like that?
We had
actually to be fair, from my perspective, I had some lessons with a sports psychologist.
Wow, yeah, okay.
At I think 2 different periods, but to be honest, I just felt like it was more like, how do you feel? And it became more. Yeah. It just felt like
but
it was
also
no tools for you to use.
It was tools, but it was comparing everything to actual football. Like, I don't know if you had the same too, but when I was there, I don't remember his name, and I mean, like, he's a great guy, of course. I have nothing against him, but the things that he was saying was like, based on what Thomas said, our coach, he would basically talk to me in the session saying, what's preventing you from achieving this? And I'm like, this is not about football, like this is about my mental health right now, but it was all about fucking football.
But for me personally, I felt it was more, maybe it was because I wasn't open-minded to it. I just had this defense against it. It was like, this is bullshit, this doesn't work and all that. But then I tried it again at some years later, because I had some issues with managing my temper, and in some matches it just went way off.
You had a few red cards when I played on your team.
The chopper.
Yeah, no, this guy is a deadly force.
So where did you play? Centre mid?
No, I was a central defender.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yo, if I made a mistake, I would be fucking terrified of this guy.
Yeah.
I had one game. We were up north. We were in Aalborg, and I played terrible. And there was one time the ball was bouncing in between us, and I was not there mentally, and you were blocking off. I remember clearly because I was so embarrassed. You were blocking off a defender, like not a defender, the striker, holding him off so I could come up and collect the ball. And I was just so slow, and then you just fucking yell at me. He's like, "What the fuck, Oliver? Like, come on, man." I was like in my head, I'm like, I don't want to disappoint Mass. You see?
I feel that, because when we entered the games, it was like, just your mindset just kind of switch.
But you have to, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But just not to like take away from the conversation, but I just want to quickly make sure make sure we introduce Colin a little bit, so people can also know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah, who the fuck am I?
Yeah,
Colin, born in Eastbourne, which is a beautiful little town in the south of England. I was lived there for 22 years before I started travelling. But again, football was my passion. Like from the age of, I think it was 13, just playing football on the streets every single day. And then throughout some school trials, first time I ever played like officially on the pitch, straight into the C team. And then grabbed my way up, ended up becoming a semi-professional footballer, so like 4 leagues below the Premier League. At the age of 16, got two appearances before I went on loan. But I'm not going to lie, there was the societal pressure of, it was totally different to you guys. It was more girls, drinking. All of these pressures were coming in from school. My best mates were going out and doing all these things. So it was not necessarily like the mental pressure of preparing for a match or being the best. It was more, my mind started going elsewhere. And I remember actually getting the first call up in the morning. So I was playing for the reserves of Eastbourne Borough, and I got a call in the morning. I was hungover, I was in bed with a girl, and I got a call from Brian Wilson, Gary Wilson, I think his name was, the manager. All right, Colin, I need you in the day. He's Scottish. I need you in the day, and I'm lying in my bed like, like seriously. But when I played, and yeah, it was, and I loved it so much. But I'm also basically, it's a long story this, but I fell off a roof and I broke my back in 7 places and I was in a wheelchair for a year, so that completely stopped me playing football. But in hindsight...
You just said that so casually.
Yeah, because
just
that's...
broke my spine.
Yeah, I just fell 60 feet in the...
But I really think that's another story. I think that section of my life story is for a different time.
It's for a different episode. Yeah. But like I think what you can say is like you were paralyzed though.
Yeah.
And they told you you wouldn't walk
again.
Yeah. And then you I don't know if people saw, but you got us our drinks and you walked over here.
Yeah, I can.
So
I
you
can
are walking.
Walk now. I can jog slightly. Yeah. Basically, I was on loan at a team called Ryan. Yeah, I was at a mate's apartment and we was watching the sunrise, and 60 foot. There's a little edge, and he's lived there for nearly 7 years, and we always looked down if one of us falls here, we're dead. Silly Colin slipped, tried to grab onto the edge of the roof, straight down, straight onto concrete. As soon as I slipped, I thought, yeah, I'm done. That's me done. My whole my body, I went into a different place. I went into a place of I'm dead. So basically, I think that saved my life because my body was limp, my body was soft. So when I hit the floor, I wasn't rigid, so I didn't break every bone, but I broke every rib, punctured both lungs. My sternum was separated, and I broke my back in 7 places. And then
I'm surprised you didn't like crack your head like.
Mate, I know it's just like. I'm not a religious man, but like, I don't know how that happens. Yeah.
Like I know we said we want to talk about this in another episode, but like. What were the thoughts going in your head? Because I don't think I've actually asked you this. When you were free falling, what were your thoughts? Like?
So this is. I remember every single second. I remember it all. So as soon as I slipped, it was, this cannot be it. I cannot be dying here, and I haven't done what I've wanted to do. And part of that is because I wanted to continue playing football, which was freeing when I'm on the pitch. But when I'm off it, I'm restricted. I couldn't go on holidays. I couldn't travel, which was my big thing. I had to stay in the local area during the summer, so I couldn't go on these big holidays, etc. So basically, I was thinking, I'm going to die, and I haven't done what I want to do. Fuck. And that was a massive thing. But as soon as I landed, first of all, I couldn't believe I was alive. So I'm on the floor. I'm like, fuck, I'm alive. And then I tried to breathe. Can't really breathe because all my lungs and everything's punctured. And then I tried to stand up and then I can't feel my legs. And then that was a moment I'm like, I'm fucked here. And then I couldn't stand up. And then at that moment it was a big realisation that this is a big turning point in my life. And it was, I went into shock. I just went boom. And then the next minute I'm airlifted to a spinal unit across the other side of the country where I spent months and months and months.
You're a miracle.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing you survived that.
I know.
And the fact that you told you would never walk again, and now you're walking, it's just like...
Again, that's a whole different story. That was kind of using... As soon as I was at the spinal unit and they said I would never walk again, it was kind of a suicide. I'm a 21-year-old boy.
Just pulling away your freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pulling it away from you.
Yes, exactly. Everything that I've known. Like.
Yeah. But this is the reason why I want Colin to be so involved with this community, because he's been like, you've been at such a dark place, and you've like, you just like you're so wise, like the things that you've learned at a young age, but then also like you're so connected to you have this greater understanding of life.
Nice.
And I think you add such a beautiful perspective. Because like I didn't tell you, but I don't know if I told you, but like when I was at Sunnews, I like in my last year, kind of like the first second year, I was not okay mentally. Like towards the end, I was declining so fast, and I don't want to say that I was like suicidal, like I wanted to kill myself, but I was like, why am I even living? I was in such a dark place. So that's why when I met Colin, we've connected so strongly, and that's why I was want to kind of evolve.
Yes.
But yeah.
So, but what did you do at that stage though? So you was that was your second year in, and you started having these.
Yeah, like
thoughts?
like the first year, like I started really strong, like in the U19. Like I thought I had a really good start, and then it was just kind of, I don't know. I love the guys that we played with, but I never really felt like I belonged. I guess I think I felt kind of out of the group, which was fine because I was there for football.
Was it an English speaking group? Was that a thing, or was
no?
it?
No,
I was
to
young.
be honest, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because we were like more,
Yeah, you're young.
in the group, I think we were like 20 guys.
Yeah.
And then maybe you and one or two others.
Who was the guy?
Were foreigners.
Yeah.
Then otherwise,
Yeah.
everyone was from Denmark.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, we were still mixed from all over the country, but still, you just.
Yeah, but like I mean, the guys were pretty good about speaking English around me, and I also could understand Danish like fairly well at the time, but still, it was.
Do you think that was one of the reasons why, or a part reason?
No, not at all. Because I was like, of course, like outside of football, you need like a personal life.
Yeah.
But like I felt okay. Like I still felt like a part of the group, and like I enjoyed. But like I had really bad anxiety at the time. I've always had anxiety, so like when you guys would invite me out, I would say, yeah, not tonight. But I never went out. This is because I was anxious the whole fucking time. Yeah. And then, excuse me, when second year came, when I was like with the Superliga team, I got very distanced from everyone because I moved to Sønderborg. And I had no life because I would wake up at 6:30, drive to training, after training drive back to Sønderborg, hang out in the cafe, have a coffee, make dinner, go to bed, or play video games, go to bed. And it was just the same. So there was no life. And it was strictly about football, so every time I went to bed, I would go to bed feeling like shit because I had a bad practice, or I'd feel like shit because I'm exhausted, or there was the odd night where I was on a high because I had a good training, but more often than not I felt like shit. So then I was just like at such a low, and so when COVID hit, that was the greatest blessing for me. I think COVID...
Just that you didn't have to show up
I didn't know.
at the club.
Exactly,
Wow.
That's what, and it was interesting time with all my injuries because I had so many injuries, and that was when the club said to me, "You're getting injured too much, and we'll have to reconsider your contract if you get injured one more time." But the funny thing was, and I have no shade on Sunnews as a club, but at the end of the day was like my injury with my groin was inflicted by the club because I mentioned it, and they didn't help me. Like I didn't feel like I was getting proper help, and then I got it sorted, and then I broke my wrist in training. And then this physio team told me that my wrist wasn't broken, taped it up, played the next day, had wrist surgery a week later, came back, my body fat was too high, it was at 15% versus 12%, so they made me do the runs in the forest with the players while the goalkeepers were training. For about 2 weeks I was doing that and doing extra fitness with Yannick. Yeah. And then my tendonitis got really bad. And then I said to him, look, like I can't keep on doing this, like my knee is like really fucked up. Because I went from not training at all with my wrist to just sprinting. And then my knee gave out and I'm like, nothing's going well. And then I was like, I had nothing outside of football. So I was like, what do I have? Why am I even existing?
And then I think that's the hardest part, when you have everything on the football side, and then if everything goes wrong there, then basically your life sucks.
Yeah.
But then I think it's really important to have something beside.
Yes.
Just to keep, let's say that things are not working in the football, then you have something else that you can rely on in terms of your
exactly.
Your happiness.
What was that for you?
Basically, I didn't really have that at first, but still. Also, it was such a short time. I had 2 years as a professional, and still it was still feel like it was divided into different phases, because at first I just finished school and everything was amazing because you didn't have to go to school and you could just basically just play football and hang out with your friends. Yeah, exactly. And then I think after a year maybe, then I was like, okay, it's also quite boring just to play football, go home, play some video games. You know, in the beginning this was really fun, but then after a while you kind of feel like I wanted to do something more.
Yeah.
But still I didn't do anything about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then first I think, yeah, that might be a year from now, I signed up for just to take a single course in some business related, just to keep my mind busy with something. And then I think a week or two after that I get a call from the sporting director, and at that time I just went back from an injury. I think I trained with the team once, and then I had this opportunity to go on the Faroe Island and on a loan, and yeah, the issue is that I was getting a call at 7, and then I was told that I had to give him the final message at the end of the day.
What the fuck?
Life decision.
Yeah,
life deciding decision.
And when he said that, it was like, at first, fuck no, I'm not going to the Faroe Islands.
It's a big move.
It's impossible. It's impossible. But then after speaking to my parents and some of the coaches, then I just felt like, okay, this is the perfect situation for me, because, you know, playing time in the club wasn't really a reality, so I kind of had to go to get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, I just took the decision that I had to go, and then a week later I was on a flight to the Faroe Island, where I stayed for, feels like I was there for a year.
Mad.
But I was only, I think, 3 months or something.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Because,
what is it like?
The thing is, when I first landed, I was truly amazed. I just looked at the nature. It's kind of mountains and snow and water all over the place.
Yeah.
So I was just stunned by the amazing surroundings.
Yeah.
But then after a while.
Okay.
But thankfully, I lived with another Dane, and we had a house for ourselves. But you know, the town we lived in, there were more sheep than people. So every morning it was like, man. It was
What, in your bed?
almost you know, just outside of the window, and it was so many of them, like 20 just surrounding the house. And still the first couple of days you're out taking pictures, sending videos back home. It's like, look at this is crazy.
But the bodega bars must have been nice there.
To be honest, it was only in Torshavn, and
So the Faroe Islands is. What's the standard like? And what are the pitches like? What's the league like?
It's like artificial everywhere.
I hate that personally.
But you know, bad quality artificial. And then the level is, it's like a roller coaster. You know, some of the teams are really, really bad, and I think the normal thing was that on those teams they had maybe 2 or 3 guys that could play, and then the other 8 just to fulfill the
requirement.
The starting 11.
Isolate the bad ones, really.
Yeah, really.
Are these for props, or can I eat?
You might lose a couple of teeth, but sat there since 8 a.m. Would you like one? Or you?
No, I'm full.
Looking after
I'm full. I just ate dinner.
You're still on the athlete diet, eh?
No.
No? How's that been? Like, I don't know if we've addressed it, but you stopped playing football.
Yeah, I stopped this December.
And how does it feel? Like, what was the thought process after such a long career to stop? I mean,
it was a tough one to make, because at some point you feel like you you have come too long, and then you wanted to achieve more.
Shut the fuck up, man.
You have
You're just nasty.
you had I just felt like there was more to achieve, but still I just came to the conclusion that I wasn't motivated enough to make the sacrifices to get where I thought I dreamt of coming. So
what are the sacrifices that you weren't willing to give up?
I just feel
because you give up a lot of your life, basically, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But I think it was a lot of things. Yeah. Some of the things that you mentioned, that the ability to go out when you want to, but to be fair, I just lost the motivation. During trainings, I could look at the clock and just realize that we have half an hour to go.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, wow.
So it didn't make sense for me anymore, and I just had the feeling that my energy was better used somewhere else.
Yeah, nice. That's a good one.
And
so, but still, it was a bit, and also right now, I'm still getting kind of insecure about that it was the right decision, but
I think it's really quite kind of grown up and being aware of the thoughts of you're now looking at the clock. You're thinking, okay, this might not be for me. Where people plough through that and just be unhappy for a long, long time.
Exactly.
And that was the thing that made it for me. Then after that, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because then it just didn't make sense and all that kind of stuff. And also to be honest, I didn't feel like I had the potential to reach where I would, where I dreamed of ending up. So it was just, a lot of different factors that played in, and also now that I have stopped playing, seriously, I still play, but it's more fun just with some friends.
Yeah, Sunday league style.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm looking for a Sunday league club, so let me know.
Actually,
that story you told me earlier.
I'm not, bro.
You're not keeper anymore?
No. That's long gone.
Where do we play it?
Yo, I'm actually a crazy winger.
Crazy winger.
No, for real. I play center back too.
Okay.
But like I don't
Jack
know.
of all trades.
I'm just so
you
well.
Just fit in all over.
That's the thing though. Like, I wasn't a goalkeeper. I was a naturally born winger. I may be 6'5", but
non-binary on the football pitch.
Non-binary.
Non-binary footballer.
But how is your playing style? Is it technical, dribbling, or
surprising? So I'm pretty quick. Yeah, pretty fast. No, for me, I like moving the ball around, but I love cutting it on my right and just bending it top ins. That's kind of
makes it sound easy.
Yeah. We're sitting next to David Beckham.
No, but it's for real though. Like, I don't know. I think I'm quite good for a player. Like in Sunday League, I am one of the better ones on my teams that I've played on. But I mean, I'm not you like in terms of your technical, but.
I think we should cut to we'll go and play football tomorrow. We'll get some footage of it, and then we'll just show these guys you're bending and. Yeah,
I mean, I might see you on the field. I have a training with Topic FC Sunshine. Do you know them?
No.
They were like.
Sounds cute though.
I think they were on like DR for an episode or something. Like, they're pretty good. So I'll sign autographs for you later.
Can we get a photo?
Yeah, so I mean, because I want to play like
that's nice.
Like I think for you, you'll probably experience what kind of some of the things that I did, because it's been now almost 2 years since I stopped playing, and I mean, the biggest thing is sometimes like I think about the glory moments, but then I realize all the shit that goes on, and it's like the glory moments are what, like 15% of your whole entire career, and it's just you never switch off. And
but still, I feel like that I wasn't pleased in the moments that actually I was living my dream, but still every day, you just kind of adapt to the new every day, and then it was like, this is shit. I still feel pain in my groin, and I have to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
Going on the bike in the fitness instead of being on the pitch, and all those kind of things.
But it's
and of course it's just it just adds up in your mind, and I think that's also played a major part that I didn't want to go through all of that again 100%. Because also you know, I haven't played a game or just trained without pain for years now.
And that's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, it really is.
Because you know what you have to give and what you can offer, but your body's just like, no, fuck you. Like, today you're hurting here.
Yeah, but still, I really had a tough time just managing when it was pain, and then when it was just, you know, soreness or something like that. You know, things that you just could cope with. But
are you still getting it now? You still getting the pains, or because it's so long?
Yeah, I still do. But of course, it's not in the same. Yeah, not in the same amount because where I play now, you don't have to give 100% every time. So if you don't sprint, then it's okay. And as long as I don't do that, then I don't feel anything. So yeah.
So do you know when you had this decision of, you know, this is the end now? What was the process after that? Because that's not just it. Then, for me personally, it was all the people that always thought that I was going to be a footballer, and your family always thinking it. So then, it's not just you giving up. You feel like you're letting a good group down. Your football manager, who's always looked after you and always drove you places. And
exactly. Also, my parents, they paid my rent when I moved to Haderslev and all that kind of stuff.
So, and there's the guilt, which comes with it.
But to be fair, I felt more like all of that was more coming from me because my parents, they were really supportive and was like, they understood everything. It was like they were kind of happy on my behalf because they knew what I've been through and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like in the beginning it was more my identity. Because when people ask what are you doing, I was like, I'm a substitute teacher, and I was like, that sounds wacky.
But you know what though, like that's the thing that was so hard is like when you introduce yourself, it's like I'm a football player, but then when you don't have that, it's like, what are you? And I felt
it's like a crisis.
It is, but I think it's also I was also seeing it kind of as a beautiful opportunity as well, because then I can be like, I'm Oliver, and this is like, I'm not a football player. It's not like, I don't know. It really changed things.
But to be fair, also when we started this, you know, you asked me, who are you? I was like,
it's a tough question, isn't it?
I was like,
it's a heavy question.
No idea.
It's such a simple question, but so heavy at the same time. It's like you say, like I don't know who said it, but it's like, it's a shame that we constantly identify with our professions versus saying, my name's Colin, I'm a kind, loving guy. But if you say that to someone, they'll be like, what the fuck is that? You know? Like,
I do think it's getting more normalised that now.
Yeah. But I actually had a thought, because like you're talking about, you know, transitioning out of football, and one thing that I'm struggling with, and I don't know if you also feel it too, like when I played at Sønderjyske, I always struggled like with my body fat fluctuating. Like I wasn't like as fit as everyone else. Like there's no denying that. I was a goalkeeper, so that definitely has its like impact in it. But since stopping football, I have developed like a little bit of body dysmorphia in terms of like I'm not diagnosed or anything, but every morning when I look in the mirror and every time I go to bed, I look in the mirror and I look at my body fat, and I'm like thinking about the moments when I'd get my body fat checked at Sønderjyske. And I like right now I feel like I'm like out of shape and I'm not happy with my body, but I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym every day doing weights. I do cardio and everything, but I still don't feel good enough in terms of like how my body looks.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel kind of the same, but it's more in terms of that. When I go out, have a beer and all that, then I still feel guilt. Like this isn't like I still playing.
Yeah, this is
like I still play.
Yeah,
of course. And it's just crazy that I can't just leave that part in the past, because now, to be honest, it really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's crazy how much we identify with like how much. Like how we look. Like I literally identify how happy I am by how skinny I look in the morning. You know, like how fucked up is that?
Yeah, no, it's true. It is.
It's crazy.
I think also that's where clothes and fashion come in, isn't it? It's like even if you're feeling a bit shit in yourself within your body, put on a cool outfit, all of a sudden you're like, oh,
yeah, then it covers.
Covers everything.
Yeah, I wear oversized clothing. Like I'm by no means out of shape. Like I am fit. I'm in the gym. I take care of my body. I eat good. I mean, I'm eating a croissant right now, give or take, but. Like, I wear baggy clothes because I feel more comfortable. I hate wearing slim clothes. I hate when people can see kind of how my body looks. It's so fucked. But I think like it'll be interesting, like talking to you as you travel as well. You're going on a trip.
Yeah.
Like how you are slowly progressing with leaving football, because there is. Of course, we talked about a few negative things, but there's so many fucking beautiful things to it. I mean, you're literally starting your life.
Yeah.
You're living for the first time, essentially.
So what you doing?
I'm really like at the moment. I'm just actually I'm writing an application.
Nice.
To start study in the summer.
Nice.
And at the moment, I'm looking at it's a bachelor called International Business at the CBS that I want to attend, but still I'm so confused about what I want to do to be fair. But
you want to be a CBS kid?
Yeah,
one of them ones.
I need to go. I need to go in that direction. But
you're gonna wear a suit every day.
No. I need to bring some other things in. But in 10 years I'll wear a suit. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
And then I'm going to Vietnam on Tuesday.
Nice.
I'm flying. Cool. And then I have a flight there, and then everything else is just
open-ended.
Yeah.
You're flying alone though. You're traveling alone.
Yeah, I'm traveling alone.
You went to Vietnam as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where did you go? Because at the moment
It was Phnom Penh mainly, but so I went Thailand, Cambodia, and then up to Vietnam. But pretty much as soon as I got in Vietnam, I turned around because Cambodia was so good, and I was with a group of people. But yeah, when I was on that hospital bed and when I was paralysed, it was within the first 2 weeks I was suicidal. Read a book about positive thinking, The Secret. It's pretty cheesy now, it's 20 years old, but it's about mindset, and you can do anything you put your mind to. So I was manifesting it, thinking about walking, and then wrote down a list of things that I wanted to do when I walk, knowing that I would walk again. And one of them was travel, Vietnam, Thailand. A year and a half later, as soon as I got onto 2 crutches, booked Cambodia, Vietnam. It was just some of the most incredible times you will ever have in your life. Mate, you get there and you're like, what the fuck was I doing? And what the fuck was I thinking? Like, we're in such a bubble in the West and in this kind of culture that when you get out there, you're like, wow, man, you're meeting so many people from across the world, learning new things from so many different people. And it opens your mind a little bit. And I'm not going to say you're going to come back a different person, but you will.
But of course I will, because my perspective will be changed completely.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you can just, in the mornings, sometimes I just feel myself, this is shit. I hate my life because it's raining and it's windy on the bike. you know. But still, it's nothing. I imagine when I go there, then I see how real problems look.
Yeah. That's the humbling side of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because basically we just need to be, kind of grateful that we live here and
I think that's a big thing. Hopefully a few people in the UK listen to this, but that's a big thing about Copenhagen. We're super lucky, and I know you know that. I think most people do. You go anywhere and you come back here, you're like, this is just incredible, isn't it? We're so lucky to have this place.
We are.
And also, I feel inspired. Every time I walk out of the door, I just see people, and it just gives me energy.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice to see, ambitious people and way different. You see kind of every type.
Yeah.
And then compared to when you go home, nothing against Sønderborg. I love Sønderborg.
Shout out Sønderborg,
But the thing is, you don't get the same diversity, and you don't see the same inspiring people and all that. It's like the city takes more energy from you than it gives, and that's 100%. The complete opposite here.
I think, go on.
I actually had a point about the biking thing with the rain. I thought it would be something really good to share. Is like I was listening to a podcast. There was some Danish podcast. I can't remember what it was, but this guy was talking about how he has a friend who's extremely ill in the hospital, and he's kind of like stage 4 cancer. I think I remember something like that. and he said to his friend, like, kind of like, what are you missing most about day-to-day life? Because he can't leave the hospital. And he said, biking in the rain.
Shit.
And it's like,
I saw the same thing.
Okay.
I think it was on TikTok or on Instagram today.
But it just goes to show, like, we take the smallest things for granted, and we live in the most amazing city. But what we think about when we leave is, fuck, I have to bike in the rain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But sorry, that just was a different route. I just had to say it. It was stuck in my head.
But still, I think it's just, you know, the point is the same thing that we just, that was also one of the things that I just realized that I have to kind of make the most out of the time that I have now, because I feel the next 6 months I'm totally free. I can do whatever I want, just fill it with nice stuff.
Yeah.
And then
is it 6 months? You're away for 6 months?
No.
I was gonna say, wow.
It's just
How long are you away for in Vietnam?
I think I'll be there for like 2 months.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
But it depends on how the trip goes.
And it won't be just Vietnam, there's Cambodia, and there's really easy buses to get to Cambodia and Thailand, which is super close. I
looked at, in Cambodia, I had a friend of mine, she attended a yoga retreat in Cambodia, and I feel like I need to try it. Yeah, so you're going to come back with all them hippie pants and stuff, right?
Yeah, crazy.
You're going to come back
like growing feel amazing.
Yeah. Can't walk into CBS like that.
But then I want to be flexible and just be able to, let's say I meet some nice people and then I can just go travel with them, and then I don't know if I end up in Bali or Malaysia or Australia.
I'm buzzing for you.
Do you have anything like, because you're traveling alone, have you set any goals for yourself in terms of like, I mean, of course you can't plan on what you want to learn and the outcomes, but do you have any intentions with your travel?
Yeah, I think the number one is like, I'm quite happy that I'm going alone, because that means I have to, go out, reach out for people everywhere. And it's like, just, of course there will be tough periods, and I will reach out for someone that will just deny it or something like that. But then I just want to get to a point where I just starting a conversation with people without even thinking about it. Just be, my first reaction, just to, because I feel like that's what I hear from foreigners, that Danes, we are so, how do you say, it's like
kind
closed,
and
we don't open up
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to, put a bit of that away.
Yeah, that's a really good intention.
And then also, of course, just take some of the culture and just see how different people live and all that. And then, of course, just have an amazing time. I just I need to go out having an amazing time. Yeah, just create memories.
Yeah, and I think that intention is really good. And I think you learn a lot from doing that, because I went with a friend, but after 5 days he left and went back to the UK because he met a girl just before he left.
Do you want to say his name?
Jack Hutchinson. And he met a girl just before he left. There was some sort of story with a girl, and he left. And but you know what? For them 5 whatever days it was, we didn't meet one person. He left. The next day I had to go and meet some people. And then I ended up, within 2 days, I had this huge group of beautiful humans from across the world, and it was just like, wow, this is mad. But it is scary, and you will have some shit times.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're alone, and this is foreign, and I'm bored, and this is sweaty, and this room's awful, and there's creepy crawlies everywhere, and
that's also the thing, because I felt at first that hostels and all that wasn't the thing for me, but now my mindset changed completely, because I feel now that I have to make the real trip, and just starting off by going to hostels and all that. I heard some crazy stories about a lot of different shit.
I feel like you've got quite a good story, big smile. Even when you came in today, I think you'd be fine. You'd be easy.
You look very calm, very relaxed.
Yeah,
at peace. That's good.
Did he not used to?
Huh?
What did he use?
No, I think also I got to know you in the collegium and everything, and of course, like, you're a chill guy, but I always just saw you so football focused. So it's really interesting seeing you now.
Yeah,
with a different setting, exactly, where
Yeah.
football's not not in the picture.
Exactly.
But I actually I know. I don't want to talk too much about football, but I had a question that I wanted to ask you though, and it was like, if there's people that are listening that are playing football or having a tough time, or wanting just advice as they go out through their career, if you had anything based on your experiences that you would want to pass forward to them, or any lessons that you learned that really stuck with you.
I think the one thing that I regret that I didn't enjoy it. You just need to enjoy that you are in an amazing setup, even though it's hard. Of course it's hard, but just enjoy every day on the trip, because it might not end, might end the next day, so it's just making the most out of it, and then just you need to feel that it makes sense for you, and then if it does, then it's perfect, then you just go on. But if it doesn't, then of course some days everything goes to shit, but that doesn't matter what you do. If you get your dream job, then of course there will be some bad days as well, but just in general, just be happy and enjoy the time that you're in, because you won't get that time back.
No, exactly.
So it's kind of making the most out of every situation.
Yeah, and I think that's life advice. Also, it's not even just football. It's like, if you're not enjoying a job, get out of it. Stop doing it. Because why are you doing it? If it's for monetary reasons, then it's silly. If you're not enjoying it, so I think that's a life advice, and I think it's so true.
But still, I think it fits. Yeah, as you say, it fits every place.
Yeah.
That's the one thing when I look back that I regret.
So do you regret actually playing football or going into professional football?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're grateful for the experience.
I'm so grateful that I have tried it and went through the things that I had. But at the same time, I'm also feeling like I'm at the right place where I am now. So
was that a tough process? Did you get dark? Was it? Did you go into a? Not really. No.
Not really, because it was basically happening over like half a year, I guess.
You just knew, it sounds like.
Yeah, I just knew that maybe this was the right decision, and then the one thing just took the other, and now I'm just seeing all the great possibilities that I have now. So it's just truly amazing. Also, I'm looking really forward to just get to live as a student without the restrictions you had as a footballer, because I think I attended maybe 4 or 5 parties at high school. It's just look back, it's crazy, but I wouldn't do anything differently because it makes sense at the time.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's really it's nice to hear that you, although now you've stopped, that you weren't going through per se a tough time, because I think that the football industry, and of course it's different for everyone, but I feel strongly in my core that the football industry and being a professional athlete, it's fucked up. I think that we play sports because we love it, and it's becoming way too much, way too intense. I think the way that coaching is now, and expectations, and it's becoming so statistical that we're forgetting the key foundation of why we play.
Yeah.
Like football, for example, it was your body fat's too high. Okay, but if I play good, does it matter? Yeah. Am I getting judged based on how nice my abs look, or am I getting based on how many saves I make? Yeah. It's the whole mental health. I was telling it on the last podcast with Lewis and Ivan. I remember there was a practice where Jeppe Simonsen on the back post, he kind of was a bit lazy and didn't go for a header. But I mean, it was a hard training session, he was exhausted. And then someone tapped the ball in the back post, and then Glenn's screaming at me. And he's like, "What the fuck, Oliver?" And I'm like, "What do you mean it's not my ball?" And he said, "No, yell at Jeppe." And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking yell at him. I'm just going to tell him, come on, just do better next time. But shit happens. And then after training, he pulls me aside and he's like, you need to fucking tell him what he did wrong. You need to be on him. And I'm like, he's a human being. Like, we make mistakes. And he said, next practice, I want to hear you like abusing the players, basically. And I'm like, I'm not going to say he said the word abusing because I don't remember.
No.
But it was along those lines. And I'm like, that's.
But yeah, I see where you're going. But at the same time, I feel when you play professional, then for me it's a different thing. Then you know all those kind of things, they just go with it, because otherwise then I know it sounds abusing as you said, but you need to push yourself and your teammates, and then maybe sometimes it will be too much, but then I just, for me personal,
I mean,
it's something that you had to cope with at that level.
Yeah, and I think also at the end of the day, I wasn't cut out for professional football. I think from the moment I moved to Sønderjyske, I declined as a goalkeeper. I think I just slowly became worse and worse and worse. Honestly, I felt like a whole different goalkeeper than I was in Canada. And I think that in Canada at the time it wasn't very professional, and I was like kind of playing for fun. And of course there's seriousness, but the professional environment for me was just so draining, and I cared so much what people. I care what people think about me. Like, I want people to be happy with me. I want to make people happy, and football was just like, I don't know. That shit fucked me up.
That's also the things that you're only able to perform when you feel good.
Yeah.
And you just relaxed in your environment, and everything around you works, because otherwise then you just put a lot of different pressures on yourself, and it just seems like that you had all of those things going on at the same time, and then it's just the pressure is way too much.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm grateful for the time too, like you. Like, I don't regret it. I don't regret anything. I learned so much. Like, moving out of home when I was like 15, 16 years old, on the road.
To a different country.
Yeah, to a different country. I went to Germany, went to Denmark, and then, I don't know, like, I learned so much. I grew up at a very young age, and met amazing people. Like, I love networking. Colin knows this. At the cafe, I'm always networking. And I just got to meet some amazing people. So, like, it's.
So what you were saying earlier about what you missed from football? Yeah. So what was that?
The glory.
The glory.
The glory moments, and then also I'm a competitive guy. Yeah. I love shit talking. I love
As soon as you get into game mode, that's probably one of my
I don't like being
bits.
yelled at by Mats, but I love shit talking.
People are so surprised because I'm a nice guy or whatever, and they're like, "Sit!" Like, as soon as I go and play a game of pool, I'm like, "You fucking fuck." But I just want to say, you can take all of the best bits from professional football and you can play it in Sunday League, basically, because the pressure's not there. You train once or twice a week, you still get the camaraderie of like meeting with the boys, and you can still get the glory of it. So it's just there, it's still there. And I think you should still play a bit.
Yeah, I want to play. I just
What, Sunshine FC?
Sorry? Sunshine FC. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm curious, like, have you, outside of football and your personal life, and of course you don't have to answer this, but like, have you experienced any anxiety or depression or something along the lines? No, not really. I just think it's nothing more than any other. Of course, there's some periods in your life where you're in doubt of you're doing the right thing and all that, but I wouldn't say I went through a dark time in that matter. Yeah. But I mean, moving to Copenhagen and having to make friends, you haven't felt like, hey?
Yeah, of course. I felt, it was a process, and I feel like it's basically, I think it's almost first now that I feel like I had friends all over the place, because in the beginning I had my teammates in the club I was playing, and then I had one or two others who lived here. So of course, at some Fridays or Saturdays in the evening, you're just laying in bed watching a movie and just feel like, this is way too lame in the weekends. But
I hear Yannick told me that you've been really trying to experience the partying life, and you've been going out quite a bit.
Yeah, in the last month or two. Yeah.
How is it?
We have been going out a lot.
Where's your spot? VIP?
I feel like you give me Hive Arch vibes.
No.
Are you a bodega bar? Bodega bar kind of? instead?
No.
With the old
I
guy.
think I think the best place. I think it's Søpøkker, but
But
the thing is,
Chlamydia Castle.
yeah, but the thing is,
Stay away from me.
it's so hard to get in. Yeah.
Is it?
It's yeah. They try to be like Bergen. You know,
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
So that's
just
that-
tell
that's
them who you
really
are. Who you used to be.
Do you know who I used to be?
I used to
But
be.
then I really Leonowski. Do you know that? Also Nørrebro.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It's like a cozy vibe.
Yeah, I like that as well.
But still, you know, I haven't been
That's super
around
busy as
enough
well.
to know where the best parts
Yeah.
is. So
But how's it been though? Like, you know, going out on even Friday, Saturday, and not having to think about. I mean, you may be playing football still, but you don't have to think. Oh, I need to be in top form. Like,
Yeah.
it must be so freeing.
yeah, it is. But still, I still get the same thing that this is bad. I'm doing
Yeah, I
something
feel
wrong.
guilty.
But then you know, I'm still going. Then
Yeah.
I had some weeks, you know, going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But
This is
Yeah.
poison.
yeah,
I'll have another one.
but still, that it's so fun.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
fun.
exactly,
So
Yeah.
I think it was a major
It's
part.
great.
I know you don't really drink, do you, Ollie? But
Well, no, I mean sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I do, but the thing is, when I do, I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
Like on last Saturday, I went out with some friends, had 2 beers, and I was
fell in the canals.
no, like like when you met me, I didn't drink alcohol at all.
Yeah, no.
But now I drink sometimes. But yeah, like you said, not that much.
Yeah.
It hits me hard.
then it's cheaper to go out.
It is
That's
right.
positive.
It is, but it is. I feel so depressed the day after though. Like
Yeah.
for me, it's not worth it. I have a lot of fun without it.
Yeah, I think that's important if you can do that. Yeah.
You need to be able to have
Yeah.
fun without alcohol.
Yeah, of course. And I think also, especially with the Danish culture, it's more like
Mate, it's
you
mad.
need
Yeah.
to drink.
Yeah,
You need
it
to
is.
drink.
Yeah.
Maybe also in the UK,
Big time. Yeah. But I think
but
this is
still,
up
I
there.
still think
There's,
Danes.
there's something about here, especially spring and summer. You see it on the streets. People just sit and they get their tea towel out or whatever
love
it is,
it.
and then just sit and having drinks.
Yeah.
And I think casual drinking is more common here. Just a couple of beers every night, you know, with each other. Whereas the UK, it's more binge drinking. You'll be out for 2 or 3 days, and it's
I
constant.
think it's cozy though, like going to the canal and having a beer or whatever.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
beautiful,
it's
yeah.
it's everything in moderation, of course, but like, it's yeah, it's very cultural here though.
I've got you.
You're at work. You're at work when you're not at work. Gets an autograph on this. Get a napkin with a Sharpie.
But that, I think for me also, when I was in the hospital bed, the social side of life was really important. So these going to festivals, going out with friends, all of this become really important to me. It was like, I need to take part in this. I was already taking part in it, and I know I loved it. I like being on the dance floor. It sounds cheesy, but dancing and having people around you and your mates and having a good laugh. And to be honest, it was some of the best time of my life, and it was. So I totally, I think up until I was probably 32, I was kind of stopped drinking. I'm 35 now. So
He doesn't look 35. Eh? What are you doing?
Ding.
Oh.
Yeah, I've stopped drinking over the last few years, and I'm just trying to be more confident in myself when I'm not drinking, because I think that's really important.
But you're such a beautiful soul. Like you have such energy. You're like, yeah, I don't know. You're just so social. So I don't even. I can't even imagine you being drunk. To be honest, you're like drunk on life on itself.
yeah. That's true. And I do feel that was part of the accident as well. Just being so thankful to be able to walk again.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I started walking, it was like emotional. Some days it was like, fucking hell, what is this? Everything was just like, I was on this top height. On a plane, I'd be like, I don't care if this fucking crashes now. It's like, I really don't care. I'll probably survive it. No, but honestly, I didn't care, and that lasted for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And it's the little things, it's tiny things. It's like literally the littlest things in the world.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective is a big one.
Yeah. Well, this podcast can't go too long because I think people will probably fall asleep towards the end. Even though it's been very lovely, I think we should maybe segment it. Yeah, you guys are boring as fuck. Get out of here. But like, I was just thinking maybe it might be a good way to ease out the podcast. Is like if you guys have any messages, key messages that if you could impact someone that's watching. I mean, I know it sounds cheesy and you're laughing already, but if you could impact, if you could impact, or like leave a statement that could resonate with someone, is there something or advice that you would give,
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's gonna sound really cheesy, but I had this thing after the New Year. I can't remember the English name, but I had to make something for the next year to come.
Yeah, resolution.
Yeah, exactly. And all my friends were asking me, what did you find out? And I was like, I haven't thought about it at all. But then just there is this saying like,
Try and say it in Danish. We can try and.
No, it works fine in English as well.
Okay.
I just need to make sure that the next next year I'll live as much as possible. Just go out, get a drink, party, travel, just do what I want to do instead of being restricted by something that in the end of the day it doesn't really matter. So that was the thing for me.
And I think that is exactly, it's pretty much don't take life too serious. I think with parents and society and culture and everyone telling you should be going to school and then university and then doing these certain things is like the kind of conveyor belt of life it tells you to do. Don't mind going off that. Like if you don't want to do that, just don't do it. And don't feel that pressure on yourself, because that is a huge pressure. And then that was again, I'm going reflecting back to the accident, but that was one of the biggest things, because I was falling through the air and I was thinking, I'm doing things that I don't want to do and I'm just about to die. Why am I doing this? So since then I've kind of done what I want to do, and I haven't attached an identity to myself. I was in finance, I was in recruitment back in London in the UK afterwards, and I thought that was all cool. I was so sad and depressed with wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase that I thought I'm never doing this again. And I want to go travelling, and I just want to be fluid, and I want to impact people, and I want to talk to people on a daily basis, and I want to not improve their life, but make sure they have a good day. So I've gone back into hospitality, and that might not be a cool identity to have, but I wake up and I'm buzzing to get into work. On a Sunday, I'm going to sleep, and I'm not looking forward to work. Can't wait to get to work. So it's a long-ass message, that one, but it's pretty much you do you. And if there's anything that's making you unhappy, identify it and change it. And if you can't change it, then be with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for doing this, guys. It's incredible. And it's very brave. And you guys are always, you're going to be a part of this, but when you get back from your travels, it'd be nice to maybe see. It'd be really nice to get you back in
see the new ideas. You're gonna be that change, man. Then you can start as cool are you?
You're gonna be bald and coming back in like a monk outfit,
Tie bride.
Oh my god. But
getting rings everywhere.
Exactly. You look like Colin with the big hole in your ear.
I need the hat and the beard and all that.
Exactly. But no, that's incredible. And then I also need to say thank you to Griffin Cafe for hosting it, and then also to Lewis and Julian for helping with the audio. Lewis lended his microphone, and Julian helped me figure out how to use software. So
But also a little shout out to you as well. You are a beautiful character. 22 years old, and you're way above your mental age. And the fact you've got so much empathy and compassion to put your kind of life into this to help people is on another level.
Oh, thank you. That's very
and also, thanks for sitting us down and doing it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Sweet.
See you later.
Yeah, perfect. Fuck, that was nice.
That bite of a crusty fucking.
So now you can eat it.
Make me look like I fucking dusted the whole.
I'm so fat in the world.